Okay, so just give me a second. I'm going to share this with a few of the groups that I'm in, and then we will be ready to proceed. This one's, despite the fact that I'm sharing this with four groups, I only have to go through just my main page, so it's actually somewhat faster. So there we go. I'm actually considering joining one more Pokemon group at this point, but no real rush for that. Actually, no real rush for a lot of things. And if any, we're just gonna keep this one really cool. So give me a sec. We should be ready to begin any moment now. Just one more group to share, and we are ready to go. And I probably should put on my headsets just in case. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be doing another draft of Premier of Wilds of Eldraine. It's the start of the month, so we're kind of reset ready. Actually, by grinding a few quick drafts, I managed to get to Platinum for the first time in a long time. Yeah, you have to spend to get, you have to invest to get there. That's just how it is. If you want to get, if you want to get good, that's kind of how the process. No, not gonna always get it easy. We're gonna try and see if we can do it normally for once. Like the past few drafts I've done, I've been able to do somewhat normal drafts on quick draft, but every time I've done the premier draft, it's always been, oh, let's splash this really greedy rare. You know, speaking of rares, okay, we don't net. Again, we're in the position where we probably do want to splash this. It's a good thing this is not the Witch Stalker one, because that would have been that would have been the more shoe-in pick. I'm willing to take a Scalding Viper here. Pretty aggro. It's kind of it's meant for red blue, but we can still be open to red white. Aggro this way. I'm gonna take note that we are kind of passing cards like Curse Courtier. We are passing a good decent removal spell. Also passing quite a bit of white, so we are gonna be concerned there. We could end up in going to red-black instead. Stab Wound's probably one of the better removal spells. There's also Frantic Firebolt, which I could keep it safe and just take the Frantic Firebolt. It's probably rather than just commit to a second color and not be sure if we're gonna go there. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll take the Stab Wound is generally the better card, but Frantic Firebolt allows us to stay in red, and and it keeps us red, possibly open to blue, but we are not going to be stuck with like red black right away. Considering those two are the most popular colors for this format, you kind of want to try to stick in one popular color. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want to try to go into both and end up not getting enough cards for either of them. So pretty decent start. Decent-ish removal spell, decent-ish rare. Not the strongest rare, but that's pretty good. Now, this is the removal spell that I'd want. I'm definitely taking this one. Of note, there is a Utopia Sprawl, but we're not committed to green anytime soon. Disdainful Stroke is also it's generally quite good. This is probably one of the few reasons that punish higher end decks. Also note there's an Unruly Catapult that we're keeping in mind. Also a lot of green. There is a good chance that a lot of that green's probably gonna wield, which is gonna be kind of awkward. Green seems to be one of the mid-tier colors. It matches very well with black. It kind of matches well with red, but not so much. But the food deck is a thing. So we actually now have to consider some of our blue options. We could still go into black. There's Feed the Cauldron, that's pretty good. Splashy Spellcaster is also kind of okay. Though it is a 4-drop. I could just take Grand Ball Guess. I actually feel like I might want to pass on black, considering that I haven't passed any Candy Grapples yet, though. So let's try speculating on red blue. Red blue is fine. It's not the strongest color pair, but it's kind of fine. So we're looking at that possibility there. And hey, if I want a mythic, there's a Blood Moon, but the correct pick is actually Torch the Tower. We have to take this one. It's a shame. This is... I would really... You know what? I'll just craft one. It's not like I can really play this in Historic anyway. This is really a Brawl-only card at this point. Yeah, but we're taking Torch the Tower. It's a good chance that that card might wield on just because it's not really playable anywhere else. But it's still a decent edition of Mythic, so it's probably gonna get snatched up. We have our removal suite quite well. We kind of could use a few more creatures. Galvanic Giant. This is really more for the red-green deck. There is a cut-in, which is very solid. We could probably start speculating on Ice Out, but if we're getting all this removal, I'm definitely gonna snatch it up. We could just keep taking low to the ground creatures and adventures like, say, the Ratcatcher Trainee and Grabby Giant much later. We even got the rare land to go with it. There is a Balloonist Gatekeeper, which is fine, but we're definitely taking the land here. It's not often I get to take these. This will definitely fit. The Gatekeeper's a common. There's a good chance we'll see one of those again. We probably want only one anyway. Okay. Corvold is not that great. It's way too slow. The good one that you want is the rare dragon with the Black Adventure. I'll probably just take an Ice Out. This one's fine. I'm concerned it's okay. Now we can start considering either, say, Scarecrow Guide, though we have no reason to splash yet. Minecart Devil, it's an adventure. It gives us another creature. It's not very weak if you ask me. I'd say we still take the Minecart Devil. And probably there is a Mocking Sprite that makes all our instants and sorceries cheap, and we do have a good number of these. It's either Sprite or the Spell Stutter. I think I'll take one Mocking Sprite. We could use a few creatures down the line now. Yeah, Disdainful Stroke did come back, so we are in a... And we actually got the Grand Ball guest quite late. So we are solid for... So we're kind of solid for red-blue. Let's see if we can get the... Okay, there's an Iron Crag, which is fine pump. Which is fine mana ramp. It's okay. I'd probably just take another cut-in just to be sure. There's a Virus Attendance. We do have to be careful with our creature count. We really need to start getting creatures much later. Even the Attendance is actually looking quite good. I'll take the cut-in though because that only leaves a Harried Spear Guard on red. We're kind of setting up the cut off as much red as possible plan right now. You know what's going to be taking that? I'll probably just take the Embred Veterans to give us some early aggression. 3 Bowls of Porridge is fine for kind of control, but we might be... I'm willing to take Veteran. Porridge is also kind of fine. It's still damage. It does give us tap. It does gain us some life. But we do need to pay attention to our creature count, so I'm going to take the Veteran for now. Ooh, Frame Sanity. Beginning of each end step, enchanted player mills Ed's card where X is the number. This is a solid card, but we're not exactly milling our opponent right now, so this is not very consistent. It's probably going to come back out. It's probably going to come back a lot later. We have to have a dedicated mill plan. There are a few cards that target our opponent for mill, but we don't have any of them. We'll take the Balloonist Gatekeeper. I would like Into the Fey Court also, but again, let's prioritize creatures for now. And the fact that this is also a spell is quite good. Likewise, I would like a Farsight Ritual, but let's take note. This one gives us something to sacrifice. That's about it. Cut-in gives us a Young Roll Hero token. That's also a good card to sacrifice. I probably should just take the Grabby Giant though. This is the much safer pick. It gives us another creature. I'm not too greedy on rares quite yet. And the Frame Sanity is still mostly card draw. Likewise, I could take Spreading Seas. It's basically a cantrip. We can randomly host an opponent. I might rather just take the Divinisher Witch. It's a creature that can shrink an opposing creature. There's also Red Cap Thief. Generating a treasure is also quite good, so we kind of need to decide which one of the two we do. Probably the Red Cap Thief. Even if it's the less aggressive one, we have quite a bit of removal already. Okay, now I am very down on Johan. He's not really good. There's Dragon Mantle if I want the cantrip now, though it only just gives us Fire Breathing, so it's a meh. Sleight of Hand. Spell Stutter is fine. The problem is, look at our curve. We got lots of trees and forests, so we probably do not want... I don't want Johan. I think I do take the Spell Stutter. But again, we do need to adjust our curve. There's one of the few cards that convinces us that we might want to splash for white. If I want to be safe, I just take Obyrus Attendance because this sticks us in red-blue pretty well. Yeah, and I'm not that interested in splashing it, even if I have treasures. Yeah, I'll take the Obyrus Attendance first. It's a shame, because Treadbind Click is very good. Chancellor of Tales. Ooh, there's also another Frantic Firebolt. We kind of have to take this one. Also noticing that we are missing a lot of the... How do you say? Well, we got our Iron Crag back. There's also the Attendance again. I guess now we take the rare. I'm not so sure if I really want to run this though, but I probably don't want to run another Attendance either. There's another Spell Stutter. Probably don't want to run it this time. Likewise, Kindled Heroism's not great. There's another one. I'll just hate the Scream Puff. So we definitely need to adjust our curve. We probably should take a look at the rest of our deck too, because, like for example, this is technically a 2-mana spell. Let's check. Grabby Giant's also another 2-mana spell. This one's also another 2-mana spell. So this is what our curve actually looks like. This one is a 2-mana spell, but realistically we're not casting this on turn 2, so this is much later. So our curve looks more like this, which is fine. It's a bit on the 2, 3, 4, and we are kind of playing control-ish. Okay, if there's a card that we do want to splash, it's going to be something like Goose Mother. So what are our other options? Mostly in the commons. Bitter Chill is not that great for this deck. There's a Transmuter, that's meh. Another Red Cap Thief. Yeah, we're taking Goose Mother here. Now so once again, kind of getting a bit greedy, but it's only a splash for one color. The fact that, and we kind of got paid off by this by not going into black early and pick one. And yeah, another Torch the Tower. There's a Sleep Curse Fair. Okay, so there's an Intruder Alarm, but this affects our opponent too, which is why this is really a legacy combo piece. We probably should take the Sleep Curse Fairy. We're passing a Torch the Tower, which is sad, but yeah, we do need to have even more creatures that we can dump early too. So Evolving Wilds can net us the 1 green, so that's a good pick. It's probably better than Two-Headed Hunter. Snare Master Sprite's fine. We're not sure if we're gonna get Prophetic Prism, so we're gonna start taking a few we're gonna take at least 1 Evolving Wilds. Now between that and 2 cards that, let's see, Red Cap Thief, Grabby Giant, that's 2 cards that generate treasures, so we have a few ways. If I wanted to be really safe, I would take the Scarecrow Guide, and it's fine because it's a 2-drop creature. There's also another Evolving Wilds. Let's see, we only have a few cards that we play in turn 1 anyway, so I guess we can take the second Evolving Wilds first. Okay, another Spell Stutter, which is nice. We probably do want to take the Ratcatcher Trainee here. It's another cheap creature that we do have an adventure on the side. Picklock Prankster's fine, but we're mostly instances. It's fine, but I think I'll take the Ratcatcher Trainee here. We're kind of more into red anyway, yeah, by a significant lot. Living Lectern gives us something to block with. Water Wings is a nice trick. Aquatic Alchemist is weird. As far as card draw goes, we don't really have any, so Witch's Mark is actually looking quite good as well. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take the Alchemist for now, but I can see an argument for Witch's Mark. There's another Bellwing Bruiser. We could take a Stormkill Prowler, but probably not gonna run it. Polluted Bonds, another Gatekeeper. We could take a Vantress Transmuter this time. There's another Mocking Sprite, which is also quite a good choice here. We'll probably take that. Yeah. All the cards that are coming now are blue, so we might be... So getting that second Evolving Wilds was a good choice there. So Aquatic Alchemist does give us another spell, but it's a bit on the weaker side. It's probably the first thing that gets cut. Yeah, especially when you hit the Vantress Transmuter. We probably have to make adjustments to our 4-drop list now. Actually, no, we might have to make adjustments to the 5 drops. It's drops and up. Like, Ice Out is good, but we might cut that one. We'll take the Intruder Alarm, but we're not going to run it. I will find something to cut. Basically, we have 16 and 8, so we can afford to cut one creature. In fact, we can afford to add the Snare Master Sprite, but I probably won't run it either. I want to be main red at this as much as possible. Like right now, so I'm probably gonna cut a blue card here. That will help. That will help. And it's not no. All these spell stutters are not quite helping. I'm guessing if I cut the blue card, it might be one of the more expensive ones. So but probably Attendance, even though it's a flyer. And we're probably not running Iron Crag here because I need to already make extra cuts as it is, and I don't think we have room for a Mana Rock as much as we want to. We actually managed to fill out our 7 drops quite a bit. So in fact, if we do a check, so what are the cards that we can actually cast turn 2? Like Vantress Transmuter is possible, though. The Luna's Gatekeeper is also quite possible there. Gravity Giant's a good one too. As I said, Minecart Daredevil. This might actually be the cut, but I don't want to. I really want to cut the blue card. Also, probably don't want. Probably just want 1 forest, 1 mountain. So we're gonna cut 1 blue card here. Probably just Aquatic Alchemist. I want to at least keep one if I already cut an Ice Out. Yeah, I guess that's our cut. I'm probably gonna revisit the Daredevil. That's one's also more likely to get cut there. So, okay, let's see if we can get. So let's see if we can do well. Wish me luck, everyone. Knock on wood. Let's hope that this does pretty well. So pretty solid start. Turn 1 Veteran. We could do turn 2 Trainee, but I'll see if I can hold on to it. We might just hold back for Torch Tower, which is also fine. It's nice that this is an instant, so we're not committed to dropping it right away. Let's see. Green, so might have a 1 drop, but okay, it's just Utopia Sprawl. So we might have to hold the Disdainful Stroke a bit earlier than normal. So turn 2. So by turn 3, they will have the mana. Okay, at least we got a good turn 2 drop Grand Ball guess. So next turn we can hold back Ratcatcher Trainee or Disdainful Stroke. And still hold Torch the Tower as well. So we have a decent aggro start. Let's see what our opponent's play with blue is. Spreading Sea, so we're not torching the tower anytime soon. Yeah, now I could sack to make a young hero roll, but it's a bit... let's see if our opponent does drop a 4-drop. We could at least get them with it. Yeah, Nightfit Vigilance, sure. So we do have to hold it next turn. What we can do is we can sack the Veteran, put it on here, swing that way so we get the 3 drop. Yeah, because we're... Curious what our opponent... Because if our opponent has a cooped up, that changes it though. No ferocious werefox makes a monster. Okay. We're also missing our land drop as well. Ooh. Also, the worst thing is that our opponent could just play ferocious werefox, and we're forced to counter that. As much as I really want to counter this one, but we might be forced to counter that. Let's see. Let's hope our opponent gets greedy. Yep. Thank goodness. Opponent might as well swing. Yeah, missing land drops is really nuts. We might get punished just because of that. But that's how Magic goes. If we can hit the red, let's see, because this one's done its role, so I can actually just reach. Sure. So our opponent's going for that instead, which means that they want to get food tokens. Coastal Admirer, sure. Let's activate this because we're not exactly doing anything with that. Okay, we hit our 4th mana. So now it's not getting past this. I can play this one. It gets chumped quite a bit. I'd rather let our opponent play this first. Yeah, let's start playing some creatures out. If I can hit 1 red mana, then we have a plan. Opponent goes for Knightly Valor. Ooh. Yeah, just getting stuck on mana kind of ruined the game for us. But let's see. We know that okay. But our opponent's actually giving that up. I'm fine with it. Kind of going all in on this. Opponent does get to gain up some life, but we should be able to recover quite. We should be able to set up the hit next turn. And yeah, we have the torch already. Yeah, they're both 3 damage. Yeah, so I'm gonna just put that in the bottom. Because So what I can do is I can cast this, bargain this away, then the Splashy Sorcerer gets to put a new one on top. Let's see if our opponent has an out. No, it's a Garruk's Uprising. They might draw a card, but they're not gonna get past the fairy. Whew, we survived! One's gonna might as well swing. No, they're not even gonna swing with anything. We got our first game. That's a nice confidence boost, guys. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. That was close, but I'll take it. I'll admit that was scary. Not we really needed that one. So we really needed that 1 red mana. Spreading Seas does have the issue of like if it comes really late, it's super awkward. Mm-hmm. Now this is the reason why you want to have a lot of cheap creatures. Let's see if maybe our opponent, no, opponent doesn't have a counter spell. So next turn we can play Restless Barb, probably either just, no, opponent's stuck. So no reason for us to cast either of these spells. Okay, opponent gets a free scry. So let's look. So depending on, we're most likely gonna just untap, air quotes untap, actually just knock off the stun counter. We also know that opponent can't just torch the tower. They're missing something to bargain with. Unruly Catapult. Okay. Okay, we did hit our fourth land, but let's see. Gonna swing with everything first. Let's see if our opponent, no respect. Actually, now that we know that, okay, opponent goes for a Mocking Sprite. It's not going to look good for our opponent. So let's grab our forest, just in case we happen to hit. So if I got really aggressive, I can just cut in, and I probably want to do that because our opponent is super reliant on hitting their mana. So we can kind of ruin it for them. Because our opponent's already so much in the back foot. They miss one land drop. So they're going to be on the lookout for removal at this point. Again, so this, well, they're actually not. They're missing an There is still removal for this. It's probably going to be the 4 mana one though. If we hit one more mana, we can actually just like splashy spell cast. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I have one of those too. So probably just play the splashy spellcaster. Right now, the Sleep Curse Fairy is doing a lot of work for us. Our opponent could have... No, their opponent wanted to do the 1/2 drop. They could have just bounced the Sleep Curse Fairy fine, but they would be taking damage from the Grand Volcans. So, dropping a Curiosity. I'm actually fine with them. That's not a good play, opponent. So, let's see. So I can cast this. Put the Sorcerer roll here. We'll take the hit. They do get to draw cards off it, so that's neato. Then let's see. I'm actually gonna swing first. Yeah, we're keeping Goose Mother on top. So opponent might just block with Aquatic Alchemist. So sure. Then we'll just do Vantress Transmuter on the Aquatic Alchemist. Yeah, just putting it here again doesn't mean much. We do get to hold up mana for the Disdainful Stroke, which is fine. Our opponent is drawing a lot of cards off the Scalding Viper. That's actually a very neat combo. Let's see if our opponent has an out. Their out has to be a cheap one though. Okay, it's instant speed. So we're just gonna swing right away. Oh, it's cheap enough that they can actually pay the ward. But let's see. Oh wait, hold on. They pay the ward. They tap it. I just pay to untap. And I can even pay to untap one more time, but that's... So Sleep Curse Fairy actually wrecked that situation there. So far, we've been winning off the back of Sleep Curse Fairy. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining over that. Okay, so this one I will probably have to play this so that I can get our blue mana. Now we don't have any double colors, so I can actually just grab a green mana off this right away. Now, if I drew a Disdainful Stroke, okay, so did not draw the Disdainful Stroke. I could just play the Veteran. Yeah, let's play the Veteran. It'll be annoying if our opponent does have a big drop. Like accelerating to a 4 would be annoying, but we could probably just trade off the Veteran plus a removal spell instead. That's fine. Now, let's see if our opponent has a counter spell. Nope, no counters. They might just have more bounce, even straight removal, but that's fine too. Now take note that we really need another red source. Maybe, well, I would have gone for a blue source anyway. Yeah, I have to do this because over time that's gonna be a problem. Opponent might have some removal for either part, but if Disdainful Stroke, okay, it's okay. That just wasted it. So it's still gonna be annoying in the long term, but I'll live with it. Hey Jericho and Lagan, thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? How has your week been? Welcome to the second Burr month, and yeah, we're really in full swing for that season now. Opponent's probably gonna just play Balloon at this point. Okay, so So what I can do is I can actually just play this, and keep hitting up top for the time being. I might actually just take the damage for now. Wait, there is a spell that double strikes. No, I'll take the damage for now. Let's see. One probably blocks one. That's fine. Hey, Jericho Elagan, thank you for the 100 stars. That really means a lot. Now, and that actually puts me in a bit of a conundrum. No, that's actually let's torch the catapult for now. Kind of. It was instant speed, so I could have done it earlier, but let's see. Definitely gonna put in the mocking sprite. See if our opponent has a response to it. Yeah, gonna ping us for one, sure. Spell Stutter to cast. So it's to counter this one. Okay. So I actually want to build this up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pay for the spell count. Try to count air quotes counter their Spell Stutter, but in reality it's just to get. In reality, it's just to get them to get enough cards to frantic firebolt their gatekeeper. They might have another counter spell as the last one in hand. Oh, they actually let it get countered. What? They could have saved it. Oh, they're frantic firebolting that one. Okay, we'll let that resolve. I'm just waiting for the Torture Tower to resolve. I can do it too! That was that was neat. Ah, that was good. You're good? Very good. Nice to hear. It's always good to hear that everyone's doing fine. So, opponent's just gonna stun one of our creatures. Probably... Doesn't really matter which one they stun. So, we'll hit first. Scry into a Disdainful Stroke. I'll probably still want it, even though it's a bit late. So I could just play all of this right now. I don't think there's a red. I don't think there's a red board wipe. Yeah, I'm gonna get greedy. I'm gonna go for it. This is probably a mistake. But I'm trying to put as much pressure on the board as possible. Opponent does have another Mocking Sprite, so yeah, sure. So the Disdainful Stroke does look a bit weak here, but hey, I'll take it. We are gonna give up these two creatures, but at least we get two last Scries. Probably don't want the Restless Spire anymore. Mocking Sprite, kind of weak. Well, let's find something better. So they're gonna trade one token. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. How do you put a card here? Opponent just gives us the curiosity. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're actually doing very well, and right off the bat, we're back in gold. Not bad for October 1st. Oh yeah, also this is beer month. I'm more of a wine person, so yeah, very sorry. I'm more of a wine and liquor person. Beer, not so much. Yeah, it's Reed. Yeah, that was a very good game. A little while earlier, the first game, that was very close. Opponent Spreading Seas my only red source, and I was stuck on mana for a few turns. So for the record, this is a red heavy deck, and it took me a while, like turn 5, to draw my next mountain, but thankfully I was able to get out of it. Having a few blue. Okay, so this is a no. We have to mulligan this. This is a yes. We will definitely keep it. Now, we do have options. I could just go Mountain, Island. Actually, we have to bin a card. Probably the Disdainful Stroke, because this is only useful quite later. Yeah, let's bin the Disdainful Stroke. If it was a Spell Stutter, I would probably keep it and probably bin maybe Belluna or even the Frantic Firebolt. Okay, now these are both sorcery speed bounces, so we can just play play the rest of the Spire first. Yeah, draft here was really nuts. Now take note, this does have entry denied has a limitation, so we probably want to use this first. I'm gonna try to buy as much time as possible. Yeah, opponent does have Italian's Messenger. I could bounce it and just... I could bounce it. I could wait for our opponent to start attacking with this a little bit. We have plenty of... I could also just play a Mocking Sprite, make everything else cheaper. Yeah, let's do that. Because if our opponent attacks with this, we just probably bounce it, reset the world. Oh, just their board, just on their side. Also gets us to see more of what our opponent has. Discarding Sleight of Hand makes sense. I actually feel like Sleight of Hand is very weak as a very card draw spell. Sure, it's 1 mana. It's but it feels more like a pioneer. Feels more like an explorer plant. Okay, so this is the one problem. A lot of our adventures are actually on an adventure. So what I can do is I can actually swing first, see if our opponent respects the situation. Yep, no respect. Oh no, I cast targeted the wrong one. That was so stupid. Yeah, I'm sorry too. That that was so stupid. What? I hate it when I hate it when it moves cards around. I'll just have to live with it. But at least our opponent doesn't. Opponent is still hitting us though, so there's that. And yeah, this is X equals 3. Gonna virus attendance, so we can buy some time with that. This does punish our opponent's Talion's Messenger and Aquatic Alchemist. Kind of buys us a little bit of time. We can even use it to... Yeah, that was really not good. And I actually feel like our opponent was sincere on that, sorry. Anyway, opponent's 6 mana. Also have the will. So the Scalding Viper is probably going to deal more damage. Yeah, well, not making anything cheaper yet. So if our opponent swings with the Fairy token, I can... Sure, let's see where they put it. They might actually just put it on Talion because they know they are intentionally giving that one up. Surprisingly enough, I feel like what did they start? Dawn of Hope. Ooh, they really hit. Oh, that was an onboard trick. Yeah, we're not surprising anyone at this point, so we'll probably just play a bar. There's an argument for swinging. Yeah, let's swing first. Also, how much is it to... As long as it's your turn, this creature has first strike. It's just a 2, but it does give us a free scry. Opponent going for Hatching Plans. You're going to draw quite a few cards off this, but we might be able to just keep pinging them because of it. Fingers crossed. They might have a counter spell. Let's see what their play is. Oh wait. Now their creature will survive, so I'm probably gonna just I'm gonna cast this first before they draw the 3 cards. It's still gonna be a net 0 anyway. So nothing died. So this is a good thing I actually held back to that. Scalding Viper is gonna continue to deal more damage. I don't think they will cast Aquatic Alchemist anymore at this point. They did get a full grip. Hatching Plans has always been a solid card. Even it... Okay, Johan Stopgap. That will bounce this back. Yeah, sure. Draw a card. So I can use this to grab a... I can use this to grab red mana. Probably, and definitely should. So definitely casting a Virus Attendance at this point. Opponent actually has a... Yeah, actually if you look at their rares, it's quite spicy. Okay, the Dawn of Hope, not so much. Opponent's actually gonna start getting advantage there. They did tap the right one because it makes 0 sense to tap this one. That said, if our... Oh, now they put the counter there, so that will get through. Yeah. They don't have a way to gain life, which is kind of our good news. Though putting a counter on each creature you control. Okay, so we're kind of stalled. Torch the tower is it any target? Is that creature? We're definitely taking the 7. So if we can't swing with the Attendants anytime soon, so that's a problem. Also, even if we did draw Torch, I'm trying to remember, because this one's target creature. So they're gonna return an instant Archon's Glory. Sure, that is kind of annoying. Wait, Torch the Tower is target creature or Planeswalker. So I might actually just wait. Our opponent even so let's see. If I swung with this, our opponent just gets the pump. It only hits them for an additional 1. So not great. I need them to kind of go for it first. It does limit the spells that they can actually cast on us, which is good news. Glass Casket. So they might go... They're going for the Scalding Viper, which makes sense because that takes... Okay, that's gonna be annoying. Now we do have a trick we can do. It's just a question if we can survive it. Okay, so we have to take 7. It's unfortunate this also only hits creatures. I don't think there's a spell that hits players. We'll need kind of extra help for that. Oh, it still sees it. Yeah, it's the reason it sees it is because you sack it as part of it. Okay, so here's what happened here. When you cast Bargain, you sacrifice the item in question as you sacrifice the item in question, in this case the Glass Casket, as part of casting the spell. So once you sacrifice it, the Viper returns automatically. The duration's over. The spell hasn't actually been cast yet. You're still paying cost. At least that's kind of what happened. I can see there might be arguments for either way. I kind of want... So I'm definitely going to ask the judge on Facebook, and I'm going to be asking them if Arena handled the situation properly. That said, thank you very much. I think our opponent did not they were going for the win. They definitely were. It's a good thing our opponent's life total was already quite low. So, so okay, this one definite keep. We might have to play Ratcatcher Trainee on turn 2. Always have a creature possible. Let's play that one. What's that? I think Arena did fine. You saw that line also. Okay, so looks good. But I'm still gonna ask I'm gonna ask anyway, just to make, just so that we can have a nice learning moment. So we will be taking 2. We'll be going Grabby Giant. Opponent is on the red-white aggro. We are now officially what is called in trouble. So opponent does a Hopeful Vigil. We'll just make a treasure token. So we have our own now we have our own Embrit Veteran. I think I also want to do the Mocking Sprite. We are missing the 1 mana, so if we don't hit that land, we don't get to cut in, which is kind of awkward. Probably don't want to use it here. I do want to do the Mocking Sprite though, because it does make these 2 cheaper. We can cast both of them next turn if nothing happens. And I am willing to throw the Veteran under the bus. That said, our opponent does have a lot of bargain fodder. Our board is in real trouble. Ginger Brute, okay. Not the worst. Besotted Knight. Okay. Torch the tower. Okay, so much for that. So probably block this one. It'll be awkward if it turns out we did draw the land. So we could probably just play Grabby Giant. I could also just play Vantress Transmuter, then the Ratcatcher Trainee. Yeah, that's... Our opponent does have a Besotted Knight on standby, so... But I suspect they will play that instead, so... Oh, it has a Ward 1 also, hold on. So that means we would not be able to do that. Let's just Grabby Giant. It does make cut in kind of weird, but... It does force our opponent to, say, spend mana on... Well, in this case... Yeah, okay. Removal spell. We're technically in trouble, but not the worst. Opponent names blue for the edge wall in. Oh, I guess we can do that. Could use the land drops though. So if our opponent will play that, we definitely want to do the Vantress Transmuter. I could also play the Ratcatcher Trainee, then just hold up Attendance. Or I'll just play Scalding Viper, because it kind of does the same thing. Still hold back Attendance. We'll drop the Curse later. Watch our opponent finally have big, expensive drops. Okay, gonna pay for that. Let's see. I'm gonna drop this, see if we can at least save some damage. Okay, we'll save some damage. I probably will not gonna bother blocking. Opponent has Armory Mice. Okay, we finally get to deal our first damage there. Got lots of cut-ins. Yeah, we're missing mana, that's the problem. So we're gonna cut in later. We're just gonna drop some creatures for now. We will definitely... I probably won't block Armory Mice because I'm probably just... Does our opponent have another burn spell? Torch the tower, gets free scry. Not the worst, and I think they probably should have targeted the Scalding Viper. They should have targeted the Viper instead. Sure, I am going to be taking 5. We are definitely still in trouble. And probably sniping the Pie Wielder first. Oh, I would love to cast this first, but that's not gonna happen. I guess I could cast this first? But let's see. We can probably afford to take 3. Okay, if I should probably take this out first. Because we're taking damage over time here, that's the problem. Nah, let's play the Transmuter. We'll give up the Scalding Viper already. My concern is if our opponent has a way to celebrate, then this becomes an annoying threat. We can still take it out though. Yeah, they did have it. So actually at this rate we probably just block it like this. We'll take 2. Get another mana. So I could play a Virus Attendance, but we do run the risk of the Gallant Pie Wielder pieing us in the face. We're probably gonna lose on the long term anyway, but we have no choice on this matter. If I had a 1 mana burn spell like a Torch the Tower, I would have just played that in Torch and we would have been fine. We're definitely gonna lose this one, but hey, it's fine. Let's see if they have a pump effect. Nope. They do play the Ratcatcher trainee. Sure. So, okay, we do have 2 burn spells, so... No bargain, just Torch. And we do have to cut this in, but we probably should have done that first. Because if this is a counter spell, we're dead. Okay, we're not dead. Not yet. Can't attack until we start dropping more creatures. Opponent, they can sack, but what? They just get this one back. Use that to get their blue mana back. Unless, yeah, they can use that to get their blue mana back. Attach a Royal Roll. I could just wait on Witchstalker Frenzy. I think the safer play is just to play a creature. Yeah, still not swinging, or... There's our Goose Mother, but it's a bit too early for that. We're gonna play it safe. We're going to nuke the Besotted Knight. Put one here. So if our opponent has any form of removal, I really should hold everything back. Let's wait. We do have Witchstalker Frenzy for the next one, so we can kind of wait on that. Yeah, this is... Opponent can... Okay, they're doing it for the Scry too. Which makes sense. The Royal Roll is not exactly doing anything. Plays a land. We're also in somewhat flood territory. Also note we do have 1 extra creature. Let's keep that in mind. We're gonna start scrying. Yeah, we'll keep that. We're gonna need as much burn as we can. Now, I could burn this now, but I suspect our opponent's going to win by attacking anyway. Okay, make the 2 knights. Thankfully. So when this enters the battlefield, it pumps everything up. Does it have haste by itself? Let's double check. It does get haste, so we need to burn as many creatures as possible. Which means we have to cast this now. And yeah, probably wanna put it here. We'll replace the young hero role. That means we cannot attack at all. And let's double check instant. Okay, that's good. That said, yeah, no attacks. This is gonna be kind of tense. If our opponent has another thing on. Ooh, I could have. Ooh, I could have made that into a creature first. Thankfully, this is on the cheap side. Now, that if our opponent has one burn spell, we're dead anyway. But if not, they could also have Gnawing Crescendo, but thankfully these are all tokens. So it just means we lose our entire board. No harm, no foul. We might just... Let's see, do they have the Gnawing Crescendo? Okay, that did nothing. we drew the force for good measure. There's an argument for making one token so we don't die right away. So we could have considered that. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. But definitely, we're not drawing cards with Goose Mother. We're gonna crack these for life. Good game. Does our opponent have a burn spell? No, we got there. Woo! That's close. That was close. I was expecting to lose that. We should have played it safe. We should have just made one food token and just cracked it right away. But it was all down to lining up all those attacks. Nice. So there you go, 5 wins. We haven't lost yet. I just jinxed myself. But let's see if we can get the full 7. The best record we've gotten was a 6-3. That was our first one, I think. I'm gonna have to recheck that one. Okay, this one, yeah, we're fine with this. Basically, we just buy some time until we can actually hit our other cards. Spell Stutter is a very good way to knock things down. We can bounce something annoying for the time being later. Torch the top. Frantic Firebolt's a good follow-up if you do spell Stutter something. Blech! I saw that. Now, we might still be in trouble, so we're gonna just play this one. We'll hold back the Evolving Wilds. Okay, we don't need to hold back the Evolving Wilds anymore. Whew, we saved our... Well, we actually could have held that one back too. But we weren't sure if we were gonna hit either of these lands, so that was fine. Opponent actually holding that back, eh? Now our opponent could just have an ice out. Okay, let's make them spend the ice out on this. Okay, then now we pass. I suspect that our opponent not casting this probably just means they have a quick study. Oh, they actually did. They're holding back a counter spell, eh? Okay, let's crack this first. Because I can just hold back since I'm the one with the creature on the board. Opponent might have... Yeah, there's no need to rush here. Opponent's not exactly doing anything, so neither should we. Opponent does have to, finally did hit the quick study. We'll let that happen. We'll let that happen. So if our opponent drops something big, we could just actually witch stalk or frenzy it, and then just untap Sleeper's Fairy and start hitting. Opponent has the okay, so they're actually gonna send this back. We could kill this just to wreck this, but nah. I actually want to cast it again. Sure. So our opponent probably plays some Beluna's Gatekeepers as their big drop. Oh no, they're going for Lord Skitter. So yeah, we'll do this now. Ooh, what's bad about this is that if they do have a spell stutter, we can't they do counter this. It's not like we're gonna it's not like we're losing anything insignificant in the yard. But we have to do that now just so that they don't get a free rat. Opponent might, yeah, they're gonna actually play that. Then, yeah, we'll activate that. We can actually cut that in. Yeah, let's do that. So, if our opponent does play their own Beluna's Gatekeeper, we just probably go for this Witch Stalker Frenzy. If they have more removal for this, yeah, that's fine. I guess that's an argument for not cutting that one in. Johan's Stopgap. Yeah, sure. If there's, at the very least, they haven't actually answered it. Prophetic Prism. Opponent seems, but we haven't been putting any pressure either, so there's that issue. Yeah, we'll play the Splashy Spellcaster. We have quite a few that we have quite a few spells that we can stack. Our opponent has so far invested 1.5 cards on. Please cast something. Woo! We saved ourselves. And you know what? We're not gonna wait. We don't have any other creatures. So situation is, yeah, this one actually, yes, Obira's Attendant's actually doing a very good job. They're gonna get the stopgap back, but it's on top of library. So I could just cast this. That'll give me creatures to. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Maybe our opponent has to come. Okay, puts it back in hand. That's not the worst outcome. So in fact, what we can do is we can probably just untap. So we do have to be careful. Our opponent will make us discard a card. I don't want that. So maybe we do just discard the Ratcatcher trainee. Because they're gonna definitely stopgap. No, they could stopgap this. They give up their Prophetic Prism. They spend 2 mana. They should have 2 left over. Yeah. I could actually just discard the Sleep Curse Fairy now. Okay, now that the situation is devolved into this. Yeah, we'll probably discard the Sleep Curse Fairy now. It's still very good, but we kind of have other plans at this point. So definitely want to hold back the Disdainful Stroke. Red Captive. Yeah, let's find something else. Yeah, let's put pressure this way. Now we definitely want to hold up the Disdainful Stroke now, because anything, if our opponent's going to play anything, it's going to be very big. Sure, that's fine. Also kind of weird considering I've already gotten the benefit of that. And I can just put this one there instead. Very well, I guess it makes sense. Our opponent did not know that we were going to just counter it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is 5. I don't expect it to survive. Opponent Grand Ball guess. Yeah, it's on the weaker side. Don't need another land. There we go. We're doing pretty well. Opponent's quick studying, hoping to hit cards. We'll most likely just take the hit off the Alchemist. Hamlet Glutton. And they concede. Yeah, they have no way of blocking this. One of my other creatures will get through, and I probably have something. Yeah, it's doing okay, so the next game could be our last. Let's hope we do very well here. I actually have last week's. I haven't gotten around to posting it because of Day of Atonement and Feast of Tabernacles, so a little bit of a festive mood there. Anyway, so I haven't gotten quite around to that yet. I'll get around to it soon. Anyway, this is gonna be. I'm hoping that we win this one, but we do have two. We can lose at least 2 games before we're once again in the realm of 6-3. So Bong Tagani Ventura Kismundo, thank you for liking the post as well. Also Thomas Schuster, thank you for liking the page. Really nice to see you guys up here. We could use another mana, but I am willing to keep this, even if it's something as boring as turn 2 Ratcatcher training. Yep. Opponent probably has a rat. I'll just kills this right away. Sir Ginger Meal Ender. I'm actually gonna hold this back because we have the Spell Stutter. Yeah, missing the land drop kind of hurts us here. We will have to take a hit. That's a given. It'll also be annoying if our opponent does not play anything and you're to follow up. Sure. Wait. Nope, no fairies. We have to let that go. Yeah, that was annoying. No, not as annoying as not hitting mana. Oh, we're in real trouble. I'll be in real trouble if our opponent is so disciplined that they're willing to play off curve just to play around the spell stutter. Or not play anything at all because you're in a winning position. Yeah, we're in. So we're now gonna hold back. Let's force them to have combat tricks at this point. Now this does give a ++1 boost, so maybe it's a way to nuke the Tabby, but probably not ideal. Let's see if our opponent gets really greedy. Nope, not greedy yet. They could play a pump spell. Knight's Blade, so deals 3 damage. Well, at least we save ourselves 3 damage in that respect, so... And don't think we're gonna be doing double... Yeah, let's get the green right now. Yeah, opponent's way too disciplined. Oh, no, it's still that's combat based. Okay. I did have it all along. So I can play the Grand Ball Guest. I could. I think ideally I play the Red Cap Thief just to make sure I have additional mana later. Like Grand Ball Guest, it's probably fine as a 2-drop right now. Yeah, think unless we're able to counter Ariet. We're most likely trading Red Cap Thief with Sir Ginger. The reason I played this is because I need to at least hit one more. If I don't hit one more mana, I do get to crack this in case of emergency. Yeah, the Minecart Daredevil's really looking like the weakest card. Opponent did not have... Okay, opponent just traded away. Okay, let's see what they have. Follow up. Rhyme for Reindeer. We can Frantic Firebolt that. We don't get to cut in. I'll be so annoyed if they have a pump effect. But at least we get it out of the way. Okay, kind of surviving. Now we just need to hit. When it goes unassuming Sage. This one we probably just cut. Okay, finally hit our mana. We can just bounce. I could also just play the Mocking Sprite, then bounce it. Yeah, we'll do that. Now we can just do Minecart Daredevil next turn. We do still have that one treasure token. I really should read up on Archon's Blessing. I know it's flying lifelink. I'm hoping it's just those two keywords, nothing more. Now let's see if we get punished for this. Opponent probably has removal. Stroke of Midnight. Okay, not the worst. So I'm gonna give our opponent another rat, which is really concerning. I could also just scald. Yeah, I can't. I only have one red mana, so I need to make it count. Yeah, the warehouse tabby actually pulling in work. But we need to at least get one counter here so that we can probably block in the future. Opponent has 3 bowls of porridge. Gonna snipe it. Yeah, we're gonna lose this one. If I can hit one more red mana, at least not looking good. Yeah, I'll just play this right now. Opponent's gonna tap it on. Opponent's gonna tap it. We take 3. Really hoping we hit one more red mana so we can play multiple creatures. As it is, I will not be surprised if we do lose. Opponent had pretty good removal at the right time. We were stuck at mana for a very long time, so it's actually a miracle we survived as long as we did. Okay, tap, take 3. Disdainful Stroke is not gonna quite do it. I am gonna play this one just to have something, and we can probably Disdainful Strokes. Though our opponent so far has demonstrated a really low curve, so not even sure the Disdainful Stroke does anything. So we block, we go down to 1. If we allow our opponent to land the Wicked Roll, we are in real trouble. If our opponent has a cheap combat trick, we're done for anyway. Stroke of Midnight. Well, not quite done for, but getting very close. At least we still have one creature. Yeah, missing the red mana was a problem. So they do create a food token. Yeah, we're not surviving. We really needed. So in that situation with the Evolving Wilds, the correct play was actually to grab the red mana. We had a few interesting plays there, but we did clearly make mistakes. It's okay. It's accepted that mistakes are gonna happen. Kind of wish it did not, but you can't owe. If I was really perfect in making all my plays, I would be playing in the World Championships. No, everyone makes mistakes, and it really depends on us how far you've been able to commit. Yeah, getting the entry fee back is probably the best thing I can. Is probably I'm actually happy with it. Tim Sopcat, thank you for liking the post. How are you doing? It's been a long time. And no, we have to mulligan this. Okay, this is keepable. We actually bin the splashy spellcaster here. I actually want to play Evolving Wilds first. This time we now know that if we don't have Goose Mother anytime soon, we should just go for red. Or you know what? I can get greedy, just get green now and hope for the best again. Let's see if I learn my... Okay, we did hit our second red. So not too punished. Naughty, naughty. Well, technically that's us. There's a Restless Spire, but we have to... We can play that next turn. Opponent does play Greta. I guess we do. I guess we're cutting Greta. Making ourselves a giant rat. And I kind of have to do that. We do have cheaper cards that. Okay, opponent's just going for this instead. I'm perfectly fine with that. We do hit ourselves Adventurous Transmuter. We can wait. We can play our Ratcatcher Trainee for now. We can save a Virus Attendance. That the -4 can save us pretty well if our opponent does have fight-based spell removal. As it is right now, depending what our opponent drops, we can. No, take note. If we do drop curse our opponent's next creature and they drop the Wicked Roll, they'll end up with a 2/2. Opponent probably wants to drop a creature, otherwise, or they're just wasting this. And they do. Opponent actually lets it go. He's not taking the risk. He wants to draw that card. So we're actually gonna just curse it now, and play the Transmuter. So even if our opponent drops the Wicked Roll on top of this, yeah, they get to draw a card. It is one of the best things they could do, but at least they're stuck with the 2/2. We can still kind of swing onto it with Ratcatcher. Opponent gonna get a nice Scry. Yeah, I'm really liking things, all things considered. Opponent does have quite a bit of mana, quite a lot of options, in fact. We kind of expended up. Well, we did start with one card short, and they did draw one extra card. But our opponent is, well, yeah, they're taking their time in the Scry. Guess it's something really big. They're not so sure if they can afford to wait on it or if they want to draw something else. Yeah, really deciding. It's gonna be and while some people may complain, well, I probably will complain if our opponent literally just did nothing after that. But remember, the rope is made. You're made to use the time to think. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm assuming our opponent does play something and then just blocks. That's why we're holding back these cards. I kind of wish it was Witchstalker Frenzy, but don't take this. Didn't swing with the Rat because it didn't really make sense. I do suspect it's also possible our opponent just takes the hit and just kind of missing the cards to actually clear the rest of the way. Blue-red is very controlly in nature. You do need a lot of the burn. We're kind of missing a lot of it. We do have some control one control element. Bear in mind. Okay, so yeah, that one's dying. Nothing I can do about that. But this is 5/5. Yeah, we're not getting past that anytime soon. We might mitigate some damage, but not a lot. It's a good thing we did not try to crash in with this. Also, this is really a bad idea to bounce. We kind of want to land this soon. We kind of want to land our flyers. Now our opponent could swing. Okay, very disciplined. They did not swing. Now we don't have any more ways to put curses, which is a shame. Kind of wish we. I think I would not have minded if this was a 3/4. It would have just bounced off this one, not that. Shatter the oath. Okay, save ourselves a little bit there. Now if our opponent has a ferocious werefox, yikes. We might have. Okay, I'm gonna swing with all three of these. Basically, the plan is just to use a virus attendance, shrink it so that it's not actually lethal. If they eat the rat, it's fine. We get some damage in. This one's just mostly for me to play this out here. Now, we're probably going to start using this to draw cards. If our we need to start using the giant to draw cards at this point. We're kind of close, but our opponent did manage to. We actually got lucky that we managed to save this one. Yeah, Gingerbread Hunter, one of the best removal spell / creatures. If it was not for the adventure being black mana, I would have definitely played this. I would have played this back in the Explorer midweek Magic event. But yeah, we need the Grabby Giant to survive. If we can draw the cards we need, sure, but we'll probably do otherwise. Opponent is most likely going to target the attendants because unless they happen to have a reach creature, but I do suspect this one's just going to die. They do have a Candy Grapple, bargaining that. Okay, that's fine. I was expecting removal to go that way. Ferocious Werefox, that's fine also. Another land they could sack for food. They're actually just holding back. So yeah, just gonna hold back for now. Opponent might start cracking food because their life total's kind of precarious state. Yeah, we're actually in a precarious state if we can't. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Frantic Bolt's only gonna hit for 5, so that's a no-go. I could just chump with everything. Let's see if we learn anything first. Okay, we'll take. Now our opponent might have royal treatment that does give hexproof, so that would be really annoying. Keep that in mind. Hoping our opponent kind of unloads. Oh, it's 2+. So yeah, I did count 5, so we did have enough to nuke the gingerbread. I suspect our opponent's just gonna wait though. I'll probably swing with the Vantress Transmuter and the grab. I can probably swing with these two, just get some trades in. Okay, that's fine. So let's play the land. I can play Red Captive. They definitely. Oh, it's hard to say because they have the food token. Okay, that's acceptable trade for me. Yeah, I'm really concerned that there's a royal treatment would be really brutal for us. I'm just trading that way. I'm fine with that. Rat out, shrinks that. Let's find out if they have the royal treatment. No royal treatment. We definitely want to start bashing with Sleep Curse Fairy at this point. So next turn, I will have to spend 4 mana to untap this, unless I want to do it now. I can also just potentially cash in with everything else, but okay, but that can't fly. We can't. I need to hold this back if I want to block though, so let's keep that in mind. Sleep Curse. Okay, so no haste yet, so I actually want to swing with everything. Opponent most likely cracks that to give them a life cushion. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They will have to block something. I'm hoping they mass block Grabby Giant so I can hit them for 5. The next turn, if they only played this, I could kind of sneak in extra damage that way. Yeah, and we're also not going to let them draw a card. So remember, we do have one more creature. If I can find a way to... So they'll have 3 creatures on board. Oh, they're actually 4, 5. It has trample, so I have to take it. They played that, sure. And there we go. Our opponent definitely made the mistake of attacking with the Werefox. I actually thought they had another combat trick or another creature. We would have been so doomed, but Yeah, turns out our phone, because of how, because the restless lands are not so powerful, we don't actually activate them that often. But hey, there we go. Got ourselves a nice 7-1 sweep. Pretty good. Well, it's not a sweep. We did lose one game. But yeah, it's getting stronger in standard. Yeah, I'm starting to notice it too. It's very... It is becoming a thing. Well, it was kind of memey back at the time when it was some fight rigging and Phyrexian Obliterator fight combo. It's now becoming more streamlined in a sense. It's more normal. And it's more normal in a good way. But yeah. So yeah, and I would say that in limited it's starting to become a thing as well. Anyway, let's claim our wins and cash it out. That was a very nice draft token. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. Okay, just some, what's this mythic?
Unremarkable mages have no hope against me.
No comment. Anyway, many thanks to Jericho Ilagan, Bon Tagani, Ventura Kismundo, Tim Sopkak, Thomas Schuster. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the stars. That was very meaningful. I'm going to see what I can do. What I can do as a thank you for that. That was very meaningful. Actually have some things planned in mind, but I'm still working on it. Erection on Knife, always wanted one of those. Beluna Grand Squall. It was fine. It was a nice experiment, but even for the Explorer deck, it felt unnecessary. Restless Fire, that one gave us the win in the end. We just needed an additional creature. Agatha of the Vile Cauldron, making her debut in many ways. Let's Kraken Pax. Spell the Interlopers. Okay, that's neat. And finally, to round things off and get ourselves another rare wild card. Ooh, nice. Lord Skitter's Blessing. It's interesting. And Prismatic Omen. Okay. And we do have one more pack for Phyrexian All V1. Let's crack that and close it out for the night.
I will bring absolute order to the multiverse.
If you say so, Nahiri. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys all next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Do take care.